it's Lindsay here with Pilates On Demand. Today we're hitting a Pilates reformer class with the band. I have a fabric heavy resistance band for class today. You know what that means. It's going to be tons of glutes and outer hips. So this is going to be a full body workout, definitely, but the band is going to tax the lower half for sure. So I want you to have your band, a block, a pillow, or a ball for your head. We're just using that as a pillow for sideline, so it doesn't really matter what it is, just some head support, and then possibly a pad for your knees when we go kneeling. Now this class is advanced. There's going to be standing on the reformer. I will give modifications if you don't like standing, but just heads up so you know what you're getting yourself into. Let's do this. Grab your resistance band, and that's gonna go above your knees on your thighs. We're gonna start with a flat headrest and with bridging and curling. So I'm gonna go to 2 reds and a yellow. If you cramp in your hamstrings like really bad, load the springs up, or you can always put your, load the springs up, but instead of being on the foot bar, you could put your feet lower onto the platform or the wood if you get really crampy. If you're like, girl, I really like glute bridges and I like it more challenging, then you want to use less springs. That's gonna amp it up. So I'm doing 2 reds and a yellow. You could do like a red and a yellow. I think that's crazy, but you know, you try it. Okay guys, let's get to it. So laying on the back, remember flat headrest. And we got the band around the knees, on the thighs. I'm using a nice and heavy one for some fun today. So let's start parallel. So the toes and the knees point up, but then widen the band till there's tension. Okay, plant the whole foot on the foot bar on your arches. Try not to turn your feet out, okay? Okay, really plant down and then tilt your tailbone away from you. So you're moving the weight from your lower back into your butt, into your glutes, and now your lower back is lifted. Your ribs are connected, abs are tight, and arms are pressing into the carriage. Reach your arms down. So that's gonna really pull your shoulders away from the blocks. Give us space in the neck. Take a big breath in. We're ready to move. Push down into the feet, lift the hips, pulling the feet towards your glutes, and then lower the hips. Your butt should touch, but your lower back should not. We are in the neutral spine. Exhale, push through the feet, lift the hips, draw the glutes together, and then inhale, we lower down. Okay, so you, from the bottom of the body to the top, feet parallel on the arches, and they're drawing towards the back side to keep the carriage from moving. My knees are tracking over the big toe, and they're pressing out into the band. So what we really want to work today as we work the band is that the opening of the band is from your outer hips, your thighs, rather than your feet. So try not to swivel the feet around in order to get the band to open up. Okay, so external rotation primarily should be from the start found into the hip, found from the hip first. So often we start from the feet, but I'm gonna teach you something different and maybe you're gonna be really sore tomorrow. That's my goal. Every time you're up at the top, you wanna see that your hips and your knees and your toes all point straight forward or possibly to the sky when we're up. And we only wanna lift as high that there's still weight in our upper back and our chest. So I don't wanna come up so high that I'm crowding my face and now I've put a lot of pressure in my cervical spine. So you don't have to lift that high in order to get your glutes to fire. That is not necessary. It's probably actually counterproductive. If the carriage is moving and you cannot keep it closed, then the springs are way too light for you. So you need to add spring. Once the carriage can stay still, then you can start to lower the spring setting to make it more challenging. Oh, I just moved it. So you want to be honest with yourself. So going more advanced or making something harder when you're not able to hold the form is not going to help you get stronger and give you results. Okay, it possibly will injure you, and that's definitely not our goal. Okay, let's go for 2 more. I'm squeezing through the back of my body. I'm stabilizing the carriage and the position of my spine and my core. Okay, last one. Let's hold this up. Draw your glutes together, squeeze, everything is still. Pull that machine close. Maybe close your eyes, connect to the back of your legs. Isometric hold, nothing moves. You got this for 5, 4, 3, 2, don't go anywhere. We're gonna now pulse. So drop your butt 1 inch. Now squeeze your butt, then lift up. Drop your butt 1 inch right here before you lift. Squeeze your glutes tighter, then lift. Drop, connect your glutes, then lift. So I wanna slow this down because I often think when people pulse, they're just moving really quickly. And yeah, you're gonna get a little bit of work out of that, but not as much if you slow it down and really go deep. Drop, squeeze to lift for 5. Drop, squeeze to lift for 4. And 3. For 2. And 1. Okay, lower the hips down and give the legs a little stretch. Flex the feet, stretch them over the foot bar. Roll those ankles out. We're gonna take this into a wide second position now. So we're going a little bit wider with the thighs. And our toes and knees are slightly angled out, but not crazy. Remember, we don't want the turnout coming so much from the foot. It's from the top of the hip. So just a slight turnout of your toes and your knees. Drop your tailbone down, pelvic curls. Now these still begin in a neutral spine. So you have the arch. Find the setup in the upper body. Then curl your hips. Your lower back now pushes into the carriage. Scoop, roll, lift, peel up. Only come as high as you can pull your rib cage together, not push it to the ceiling. So get your ribs down and shorten your abdominal wall. Then bone by bone, roll your back to the mat, find neutral. Push your feet down, like already feel pressure, so they're not just like lazy sitting there. They're pushing into the foot bar. Then you're gonna tuck your pelvis and start to pull the feet to you energetically to lift the body or roll the body off the carriage. Exhale, safety pin those ribs together, and then sequentially roll that spine down to the carriage. Finding neutral without splaying the rib cage. Good, breathe out right here. Curl the spine, navel draws into the lower back, pressure into the feet to pull the body into the stopper. Bone by bone, roll the back to the mat. So right now I'm just keeping static tension with the outer hips, opening that band. We're mobilizing the spine here, and we're getting a heck of a glute and hamstring workout, am I right? As the body rolls up off of the carriage, you should feel like you're doing a reverse crunch. Your pelvis is going into something called a posterior tilt. So where your pubic bone is, it's coming towards your front ribs. Your goal is to keep that connection, that shortening of the core as you roll down. So you keep tucking your hips under for longer and longer and longer until you can't, and you have to release the hips. So of course we're getting a killer butt workout like we just said, but when you're able to control the spine like that more, you're gonna get a bigger stretch in your lower back. So without using this crazy band, it's great TLC for the low back. Oh my God, my hips are already like freaking out, guys. This is gonna be a killer. Curl the body up, big squeeze. Melt the body down. Okay, last one, big breath in. Open the band, push into your feet and curl the back up. Hold at the top. I want you to go to neutral and then tuck your hips under. So we're lengthening the abdominal wall and then shortening it. Create distance between the ribs and the hips, close it. Let's go for 6, close your eyes. When you tuck your hips, squeeze your butt. 5, no tension in the upper body. 4, break that band. 3, almost there. For 2, and 1. Tuck, roll down with control, and release. Okay, you're gonna just twist the back out a little bit. That's gonna release your glutes a hair. Woo, side to side. Okay, do one more each way. We wanna let the hips recover a little in between this. There's way more to come. And then take a seat. So, supine abs. I'm gonna pop my headrest up. There she is. And then I'm gonna be on a red and a yellow. If this gets really neck and shouldery to you, and you're not able to keep the space in your collarbone, I would go to a red or even lighter. I really wouldn't suggest much heavier than a red and a yellow, because this is about your abs, not your arms. So that's where I'll leave you. Band's gonna stay in the same spot. Lay on your back, grab onto your short loops. 4 fingers through, thumb is free, and maybe scoot a little bit out of the shoulder blocks. Legs to tabletop, flex your feet, and pull tension on the bands. You're a little wider than your hips. Now before I even move the straps, I'm gonna pull this area down right here, where your armpit is. Pull your lat down, and then bring your arms by your waist. Collarbone open, and then lift the arms up. Okay, we're gonna keep a neutral spine here. So your rib cage is down, your butt is down, your lower back has the natural curve. If that is really intense on your body, you can of course imprint the spine and press the entire back into the floor. Okay, on our next one, we're gonna add that abdominal curl. So lead with the chest to lift the shoulder blades off. This is where I would tell you if you're too heavy, if your arms are kind of like this. We have to be able to reach through the straps to get the shoulders down and curl up from the chest, not just the head and the arms, okay? Inhale, lower down, set the lats, and then exhale, lift from your upper abs. Inhale to lower. Breathe out, bring the chest up and the head follows. Breathe in, we lower down. Good, exhale, curl. At the top, hold, pull your belly button in. And then slowly go down without letting your belly button release. Breathe out, belly button in. And then as you go down, just don't let those straps take you down like that, right? So make the exercise hard in both directions. I mean, maybe that doesn't sound fantastic, but if you want to get stronger and more out of it, that's gonna be my suggestion for you. Okay, we're gonna add those legs. So on the next one, the legs are gonna shoot out to 45 degrees as we curl up. Then open the band, try to break it. Close the band, bend the knees, lower down. Okay, curl up, extend the legs long. Open the band, work those outer hips, pull your navel in. Legs to tabletop, lower down. Curl up, breathe out. Open the band, close the band, bend the knees and lower down. Of course, you can modify by resting your head down. When you're right here and your legs are open, try to make sure your toes and knees point to the ceiling and we haven't turned the legs out or in. Let's really stay parallel for the time being. Good, let's go for 3 more. And last 2, curl, extend the legs, pull the belly to the low back, open the band, bend the knees, take it down. Okay, last one, we are staying up there. Open and close that band, reach through the straps, shoulders are down, belly is in, create a long neck. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep the band open, pulse your chest. Up an inch, down an inch. Get your ribs together. Breathing out for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Control it down. Woo! That's always crazy. Okay, guys, we're gonna take the legs straight up to the ceiling. Flex your feet and open the band till there's a little tension. Arms straight up to the sky. There's already tension here. We're pulling our shoulders and our ribs down. Inhale to lower your legs. Exhale, lift the legs and press the arms down. Arms lift, legs lower. Make sure your rib cage is down when your legs are down, and then lift. So do not allow the back to pop off the carriage when the legs are low. Good. Inhale, separate. Exhale, reinforce the core. Pull it in before you even start to lift the legs. So tell your body, each and every rep, what muscle you're using to lift. That's the mind-body connection. Is isometrically contracting or flexing the muscle. Breathe in to lower. Breathe out to lift. Keeping that tension in the band. Good work, guys. Let's go for 4 more. For 4. And 3. For 2. Okay, hold on 1. So arms over the shoulders, there's tension in the straps, belly button in, pulse the band out. 10, 9, sink your ribs. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Legs up. Rest it down. Okay, so we're gonna put the straps down and you're gonna grab your block, your ball, your pillow, whatever you wanna use for your side lying. I think I like the headrest down with the prop, but that's your call. So I'm gonna go flat headrest, I got my yoga block. And then I'm gonna go to 3 reds, which is quite heavy. But I like that for this exercise. So if that's too heavy, your regression would be 2 reds and a blue. If you want it lighter, 2 reds and a yellow. If you want it lighter than that, 2 reds. So you're just dropping springs down. Remember, if it doesn't go into the right body part and it doesn't feel good, it doesn't need to be that heavy. You want to make sure you're feeling it in the right location, which is the glutes. So we're going to lay on the side and face each other. We're doing both sides, so don't worry. The bottom leg rests on the carriage. Your butt should be behind your chest, and we're gonna arch the back so that the abdominal wall is long. A lot of times I see people like this, and their waist is all crunched, so that's not the position we want to be in. Lengthen the belly. Create the neutral spine in the low back, and then put your right foot on the foot bar with the toes and knee pointing straight forward. Now lift your bottom ribs up. There's a tunnel here. And let's move. So before you press out, squeeze your top glute, this guy, the foot on the foot bar, squeeze it. Band is up, you're gonna press out, drive through the heel, and then bend the knee. Good, exhale, squeeze your glute, then press out, and then bend the knee. I want you to think of reaching your hips back as you return. Hips go back behind your planted heel on that foot bar. Squeeze the glute, push out, resist the springs, come in. Squeeze, press out, resist, come in. Looking good, guys. Good, sometimes I like to just peek, make sure my form looks good. Okay, so even though our spine is not really moving here, right? The goal is actually keeping it still. That doesn't mean it's not working. There's a lot of work going on. I'm trying to keep my shoulder blades and lats connected so that I'm not rounded. My bottom oblique is pulling up. My ribs, my belly are all drawing in. These are all things I'm doing to stabilize the body. Good, last one. Come halfway in. Now we're not gonna move the carriage or the foot. The foot is totally planted. Pulse your knee up into that band. Stick your butt out behind you. Arch that lower back. Looking good. Push your bottom leg down to anchor the band. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press out, squeeze your glute. Bring it in. Okay, give it a little tap, and now we're gonna turn it out. So like I said earlier, a slight turnout, not crazy. Okay, bottom thigh down, top knee up, arch your lower back, push out, squeeze the glute, bring it in. Stick your butt out as you're bringing that carriage back home. Woo, we're here to work. Okay, you're gonna give me 3 more for 3. And 2. Okay, last one, push the machine out. Halfway in, don't move the machine and push your knee up. Try not to move your foot either. Really dig your heel down. Let's go for 6. Arch your butt. 5. It's crazy. 4, 3, 2. Hold the knee up, push out, and bring it in. Oh my gosh, we're definitely reaching some failure there, which is a good sign, right? We want to push it in as long as it's safe to the max. Okay, so we're going to do those 2 moves on the other side. You're going to see my back, but that is totally fine because I think it's also a good visual so you know what you kind of look like from a 360 angle. So roll to your other side. If you can move your video, great. If not, no worries. So head on the block. And this is what I was talking about on the back last side. So my hips are not tucked under, right? 1, the hips need to come back near the edge of the carriage. 2, you need to arch your back, booty out. And then we're gonna place the top foot on the foot bar parallel. Make sure this knee isn't just resting down. There's tension in the band. Okay, push off the heel, press out. Then think of reaching your butt back as you come in. Push out, squeeze the glute, and come in. Good. Squeeze as you go out. Hinge the hips back as you return. Okay, go slow in both directions. And then draw the lower belly in. Pull the ribs in and make sure you're lifted through your bottom oblique. Relax your neck into your prop. Good work, guys. We got a couple more on this side. So I'll just show you what not to do is like drop into your waistline or slam the machine closed. See how this area of my back is moving up and down? So there should literally be absolutely no movement in the spine. Make sure that's completely still as we do this. Okay, 2 more for 2. Okay, last one, we're gonna go out. Carriage is completely still. As we come halfway in, you're gonna pause. Arch your lower back and pulse the band up without moving your foot that's on the foot bar. Good, up and down. Get into that outer hip. Good, stick that tailbone out, move that lower back in for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold the knee up, squeeze your glute, press out, and come in. Okay, give it a little tap. So the next one is a little shorter, we're lucky. Now we're gonna turn the heel out just slightly. Heel on the bar, now stick your butt out and push out through the heel, squeeze. Bend your knee and reach your hips back. Push your chest forward through the fronts of your shoulders. Good, squeeze, press out. Inhale in, let's go for 3. And 2. Okay, last one. Continue to arch the back, out, halfway in, freeze. Pulse that knee up. Keep that bottom thigh planted. You've got this. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it out on 1, press out, and bring it in. Oh my gosh, you guys. It's like when you start that, it's not terrible. And by the last rep, it's like, holy crap. Okay, move this out of the way. Nowhere near the carriage. We're going to 1 blue spring. If you want to go lighter, it's a yellow, which will be even harder on the balance because we are going standing, but it will be easier on the arm work. If you want it heavier, it's a red. Okay, we're catching our breath. So we are gonna be standing on the carriage. This means that you've got to use crazy control of your core. Your option would be to be in a proposal stance like this with your left foot in between the shoulder blocks, kneeling on your right knee. That is a modification. So otherwise, you have your left foot in between your shoulder blocks. I would have it near the front edge. Your back toes are tucked under, right toes are tucked under. And we're gonna cross the straps, holding above the knots. We are coming into a standing lunge series with rowing. So push into your front foot, tuck your back toes, belly in, slowly stand up. Okay, we're gonna start with the arms. Keep a micro bend in both knees, brace your abs. You're gonna pull your elbows back, drawing your shoulder blades together, and then we reach it forward. Okay, draw the elbows back, open the chest, and reach it forward. Okay, push your shoulders down, elongate through the crown of the head. Okay, I'm gonna continue to add on, but you can stay wherever you need. Like if you're like, okay, this is plenty of challenge, then just stay right here. So we're gonna lunge at the same time that we row. So you're gonna bend your knees, butt back, shoulder blades connect. Control the release of the straps as we stand up. Big breath in, we go down, open the chest. Now push through your left heel, squeeze the left glute, we stand. Good, we row and lunge. Good, we drive through that front foot and stand. Okay, nice work, guys. Maybe that back knee can really tap down if you're feeling it. Good work. We're gonna go for 4 more. Good, think of those back muscles gliding together as you row and slightly leaving the spine as you release. And 3. Good, it's not a rush. So if you're doing less reps than I'm counting, that's great. If you're doing more, slow down. And 2. Nice and slow to stand. Okay, this one, you're gonna stay down there as your advanced option, and we're just gonna row the arms. Good, drop your left hip down, make your left heel really heavy. Inhale forward, exhale, pull back. You are strong, you have got this. When things are challenging, our mind plays tricks on us and we have to tell it to be quiet. For 5. Glue that whole front foot to the floor in front of you. Last 3. And 2. Last one. We row, and then slowly we stand up. Woo! Good work. Okay. Stand, breathe, don't go anywhere. We are going to switch sides. So, you're going to step your right foot in between the shoulder blocks, nice and slow. I'm going to uncross the straps. We're going to be doing a different position for the arms. Your back toes are tucked, abdomen is in. Now, I didn't say this on the last side, but watch your back foot. It shouldn't be moving around. The toes are tucked and the toes point straight forward. Legs are hips distance. Standing tall, micro bend in the knees. You're gonna press your arms straight back, opening the collarbone, and then we bring it forward. You're gonna pull your back muscles together. When you release, this is when you have to control with the core. If you go fast with the release of the exercise, that's when you'll lose your balance. If it's too heavy, go to the short or long loops. Too heavy would mean that you can't keep your shoulders down and off your chest. Okay, you guys, you know what's up. We're gonna go chest expansion with our lunge. Are we ready? So booty back, press the arms back, and then drive through your front foot, gradually bring the arms forward. Okay, inhale into the lunge. Watch my back foot if you're having a problem with lunges. See how the ankle is stable. I'm moving at my knee joint. My ankle is stable. Deep breath in, open across that collarbone. Deep breath out, slowly stand up. Good, making our way through it. Good, we're gonna be here for 4. And 3. For 2. Okay, here's our hold. Yep, let's do it. Come down, hold. Booty back, just the arms. See how much you can get your shoulder blades to move away from your neck. Good, reach the top of the head to the ceiling. Get low in the legs. So strong, guys. Let's take this home. This is the only lunge series we have today. We're here for 4. And 3. For 2. Last 1. Arms come forward, slowly stand up, but maybe bring it down. Okay, so come to kneeling. Okay, so we have a little break for the legs. So the band is gonna go, you just put the straps on the blocks for a second. We're staying on a blue. The band's gonna come off the legs and go around your arms. You're like, hallelujah. So what this band is gonna do is help keep external rotation of the shoulder. So a lot of times I see people in arm work do stuff like this, and that's not great for the shoulder. So remember the rotation of your hand, just like we've been talking about, of your foot. The foot is coming from the hip, the hand is coming from the shoulder. So I want you to drop your shoulders down, spread them apart in your upper back, and rotate your elbows down, your palms in. Grab your straps, make sure you have some space behind you. I'm gonna hold on the knots. If I need less, I'll go to the short loops. Flex your feet, space behind the lower back, and drive your legs out into the blocks. Push the blocks apart. Okay, so sit really tall and get up onto your sits bones. Make sure your sits bones aren't curling under, you're on them. Shoulders down, lift the arms straight up. Work the band, rotate your elbows forward, then tuck your pelvis under, pull your ribs in, bend your arms to 90, and reach forward. Roll your chest over your ribs and sit as tall as possible. Your modification right here could be short loops. I might try that. So I'm gonna go straight up. Yeah, that's better, because I'm looking for mobility here. I'm trying to get the arms straight up. Wrap the elbows forward, pull the ribs in, tuck the hips under. Then bend the elbows to 90, elbows in line with shoulder, roll over the ribs, big lift. Inhale, reach straight up, hold. Palms in, elbows forward, spread your back muscles. Now lift the spine. Bend the elbows to 90, tuck the pelvis under. I think I messed that one up, that's okay. Arms go forward, and we restack. So we go straight up, big lift. Elbows wrap forward, ribs in. We curl back, keeping the arms overhead. This is where I want you to arms back, ribs down. Elbows 90. We reach it forward. Roll it up, get really tall. So this is our spinal articulation. Big lift here. Wrap those triceps forward. Move the arms back by the head. Then curl the spine under. Elbows to 90, reach forward. Roll it up, restack. Let's take 2 more. This is kind of our break for our legs. Arms up, straight up. So no bent elbows pointing to the sides. Straighten your arms, angle your elbows forward and lift. Then curl through your hips. Bend the elbows to 90. Reach forward and roll it up. Last one. Big lift, palms in. Straighten and lift the sides of the spine. Then curl under through your hips. Bend the elbows to 90. Reach forward and roll it up. Oh my gosh, the shoulders, guys. Okay, so the band is gonna be in this position. Come off the reformer for just a second. We're gonna go into some planking. I'm gonna take the band a little higher, right above my elbows. I'm staying on a blue spring. If you need more support, you could do a blue and a yellow. If you want it more challenging and you can keep your form, you can go to a yellow. So come kneeling, move the her out of the way, and put your hands on the machine in front of the shoulder blocks. Open your hand wide. Push every part of your finger down. I do not want to see like that. Push the hand into the reformer. That's going to protect and save your wrists. Now use the band to wrap your elbows towards your body. So oftentimes in planks and Pilates, I see people like this, right? So remember, this is starting from your shoulder. Shoulders down, spread them apart, protract, and spin your elbows to your knees. If the band's loose, just widen the hands. Tuck your toes under in front of your wood or your platform. Belly up, and then we're gonna float the knees and go out high plank. So try to maintain this externally rotated position. So elbows are gonna point to your toes. We're gonna slide the carriage out, and then exhale, pull the arms back in from your back muscles, from your shoulder blades. So when we're out here, I don't want your elbows looking like this. That's why I'm using the band, right? I'm helping the elbows rotate in, pulling your back muscles down. Well, I'm not helping you, but the band is. I just became an inanimate object. Inhale, we go out. Exhale, we pull in. So I only want you to take this carriage as far out as you're able to maintain this arm position. If you start to lose it, hold it in that spot and work it. Try to find it again. So back muscles are down away from the neck and spreading away from the spine slightly. Inhale out. Exhale from the abs, return. Good, breathe in. Carriage moves out. Breathe out. Carriage moves in. Pulling that navel in and up. Let's do 3 more. Make sure to keep breathing. And last 2. Good work, guys. Last one. Inhale out. Exhale, hold the plank. Okay, we've got this externally rotated position, and if your hands aren't already wide, I would take them wider. Try to keep the elbows spinning to the knees. Bend your knees a little. Piking with your knees bent. Your heels should not move. Heels are up, knees are bent. Lift your pelvis up. Close the machine all the way. Do not drop your heels. And then lengthen out. So sometimes the restriction here is hamstrings. So that's why I'm having you bend your knees. So knees slightly bent, lift the pelvis up. Pull the belly in, onto your tippy toes, and then back out. But as you go into the pike, let your head naturally fold, look to the toes, and then lengthen back out. Okay, so if you have a little bit more flexibility in the hamstrings, your legs can be more straight, but just notice if you're closing the machine and dropping your heels like this. So that's more like down dog at a stretch. I want this to be from your stomach muscles. So heels elevated. When I go to basically fold myself into a triangle, I'm initiating by drawing my abs up into the lower back. When you come back out into the plank, make sure the arms aren't going way beyond the shoulders. So it's just hands underneath the shoulders the entire time, folding at the hips, and then slowly taking it back out. Good, exhale, lift up through the pelvis. Inhale, back out. Okay, let's go for 2 more. Okay, this next one, we're gonna do little pulses in the pike. So come up into the pike, little bend of the knees, tilt the tailbone up, and now move the carriage in an inch and out an inch from your abs. Try to draw your feet and hands together. Move the carriage jet, drift it apart. So your hands are your upper abs, your feet are your lower abs. Pull them together. Relax the neck for 5, 4, trigger that belly button on the exhale. 3, 2, and 1. Knees down. Oh my gosh. Shake it out. I am dripping. Are you guys dripping? So we were just upside down for a second. So take a beat, stand up, let the blood come back into your body. Okay. Are you with me? I'm with you. I need you with me. We're gonna do standing outer thighs. So I'm gonna go for a red. If you want it heavier, you could do a red and a yellow. If you want it lighter, you could do a blue. I wouldn't really do a yellow because that's gonna end up being inner thighs and hit like a really different area. So this is one of those exercises that if you go too light, it's gonna hit something else. Okay, are we ready? Band is above your knees on your thighs. Start facing me. We're gonna do both directions. I think it's easier to at least see it in one direction. It's a little funky. You gotta step up on the wood first or your platform first, the non-moving part first, and then the carriage. So when I do this exercise, I sometimes like to get my foot really near the edge so I feel hooked in, so I don't feel like my feet are gonna slide. You could also use stickies. So from the head to the toes, bring your head back in space. So make sure your head's not falling forward. So back of the head over the tailbone, spread the collarbone, connect your ribs, and slightly lift your abs up. Put a micro bend in your knees so we don't lock them out. Now your knee needs to stabilize by squeezing your quad. So your knees are not gonna bend and extend, right? Soft bend, and here we go. You're gonna push the machine out through both legs. Both legs are working. Now on the way in, you're not just gonna close the machine. No, you're gonna resist it closing, so it's effort. So we go out, clearly, there is effort, and then the in, you have to resist. You got it. Okay, so we're gonna push out. I want you to go as far as you can. Make sure your knees are not caving in. If they are, you might have to drop the band or lower the springs, okay? Good. Exhale to push out. Thighs push into the band. Things are shaking. Inhale to return. Good. Press out. Break the band. Resist in. We've got this. Talk yourself through it. There's even weight in both feet. So it's not just the leg on the carriage moving. It would look kind of off in the hips. Both feet have weight. Both feet push out. Both legs slowly draw back in. Okay, we've got 3 more. For 3. And 2. This is the final one. We are going out, we are pulsing. So bring it out, and we hold out an inch, in an inch, both legs. Work those outer hips. Good, we've got 8. Woo! 7. 6. I am literally shaking like an earthquake. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Slowly close the machine. I mean, that is the way to burn out your booty. So we're gonna do the other side. If you need to make an adjustment to get through it, do it. We're gonna turn around. So now the other foot's on the wood, your other foot is on the carriage. So make sure that your feet, your toes line up with each other. I'm gonna bring my feet to the edge so I feel kind of hooked in. So feet are planted. There is a micro bend in my knees, so I'm not jamming my knee back, right? Soft bend in the knees, athletic stance. Brace your thighs. Angle your tailbone slightly down. And here we go. We're gonna push the machine out. And then we're gonna use the outer hips to resist. Good work, guys. Exhale, open the band. Inhale, resist. Good, so check your form in your upper body. Bring your back muscles together and the back of your head straight back. So don't look up or down, but bring the back of the head, the skull over the tailbone. Woo, everything's on fire. We're so close. This is our last hip exercise. Okay, we've got 3 more, and then we're pulsing, okay? For 3. And 2. Okay, here we go. Push it out, knees out, and then push the carriage out an inch, in an inch. Try to use both legs. We've got this for 8, 7, 6, you're strong, 5, 4, almost there, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in. Okay, carefully step off the reformer with the moving foot and then the non-moving foot. Oh my God, were you shaking too? You guys, I am so proud of you. We are going to finish with a little side plank variation. The band is actually gonna be more like assistance, and it's gonna focus on inner thighs. I'm gonna do a blue spring. If you need more support, a red. If you need it harder, a yellow. So start facing me. You're gonna bring your forearm, the arm that's closest to the ground, underneath your shoulder, in front of the shoulder blocks. Now here's the setup. Your top leg, so we're getting kind of low. Your top leg, the inside of the knee and the inside of the ankle are gonna rest on the foot bar. So you're gonna push down into that leg to help lift your hips up. So side plank with inner thighs. Our points of contact are our bottom arm and our top leg. I'm gonna push into the carriage with my bottom arm and push into the foot bar with my top leg and squeeze my legs together, lifting my bottom ribs away from the machine, and then I'm gonna tap down. Okay, I'm gonna pull up and squeeze the foot bar. Maybe the carriage comes in. Pull this bottom lat down to do so. And then we tap it down, the carriage can move out, okay? Here we go, we exhale, lift, squeeze. You inhale to lower. You can also straighten the bottom leg as an option if you prefer that. I'm actively squeezing that foot bar with my inner thighs right here. Like I'm really trying to hold on to it. Go up, up, up with those bottom ribs. If you feel this into your neck, I would suggest looking down. Okay, you're gonna give me 2 more. Last 2. Make sure we're not sitting in the shoulder, lift out of it. Okay, last 1 here. Lift and hold, pulse your hips up for 10, 9, get your ribs higher, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly take it down and bring it on down. Okay, we're gonna finish it up. So flip to the other side. Like I said, I think it's actually good that you see it from the back as well. So other forearm down, elbow underneath the shoulder. Look at my shoulder real quick. It does not wanna look like this. Push out of the carriage. Then top leg, shin on. So ankle and inner knee. Do the first couple with the bottom leg bent. So we're gonna push into our top leg and bottom arm, lift, squeeze. So pinch the foot bar. This is inner thighs. Then drop it down. Okay, exhale, lift, squeeze. So I'm pulling this bottom shoulder down. So it's not up on the ear, it's off the ear. Awesome, guys. Big rainbow in that bottom lace line. And if you'd like, we can take that top leg straight. And when we pull up, we squeeze the bottom inner thigh to the top inner thigh. Inhale to lower. Stick the landing at the top. Squeeze the carriage shut. Good. So one thing I see sometimes too is that the upper body starts to round. Try to bring your top shoulder and your head back in space. So it sometimes like goes straight forward like this. Bring it back so you can see how that lines up better with the rest of the spine. Okay, here we go for 3. I have to keep reminding myself about the head. And 2. Are we ready to pulse? Last one, we're gonna lift up, find better form and pulse your hips. Come higher and higher through the bottom ribs. We've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh boy, bring it on down. And that band is finally done. Okay, let's take the band off. That was crazy, you guys. The reformer is wild. So it is time to stretch. I'm gonna take this to a red and a blue. For legs and straps, we're gonna do mainly stretching with the straps. Headrest up, or for your preference, and then lay down. But also, good work, because holy crap, that was intense. And we're here. Oh my gosh, let's revel in this moment. How proud of ourselves we are. And then let's put the straps on our feet. Okay, I'm sure this number 1 stretch is calling for you. Figure 4. So we'll do it weighted. So I really want you to stay in neutral. So if you put your hands underneath your lower back, there's space there. Legs at 45. Bend the right knee and turn it out and hook the right ankle over the left thigh. Then bend the left knee to tabletop. Now let's try to see that the left foot is not kind of going in a random direction. The foot is in line with the left knee. The knee is over the hip. My butt is down, so I have the arch of my lower back. This is not the goal of the stretch, to get it like super close to us. So this is gonna stretch like more like into your back right here, not really into the hips. So if you get the hips down, we're gonna access more into that right glute. Maybe you give it a gentle opening with the right hand. Oh my gosh, I'm sweaty. Okay guys, so just hold the ropes and make sure the strap is around your right foot to uncross. Legs at 45. Cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Foot is flexed. Bend the right knee to tabletop. So like I was saying on the other side, don't let the strap like pull the foot in a wonky position. The foot is in line with the right knee, knee under hip. And then move weight into your butt, out of your lower back. Sometimes I peek at my hips too, because I feel like, you know, it's good to be intuitive, but sometimes what we think feels right, and then we look in the mirror, we take a glance at it, we're like, oh, we're kind of crooked. That's why I like mirrors, or sometimes if you like video your form, believe me, because I do all these videos, I see my form sometimes and I'm like, oh my goodness. But it's helpful because then you go, oh, okay, yeah, that's my tendency. So we're getting that left glute to stretch out. Good, okay, so take the strap, make sure it's around the left foot, hold the straps and unwind. Okay, so we're gonna go into a nice big straddle. So try neutral, turn the legs out, flex the feet, and then we're gonna open into the straddle. So press your thighs, engage them, press your thighs out, moving the weight down and lengthen the abdominal wall. So this is shortening the abdominal wall. It's like a tuck. So we're gonna do the opposite. Move the pelvis away from your chest. Whoo, inner thighs. We got the inner thighs there at the end, right? That was like my counter to the class of us doing all that outer hip work. Gotta bring us back into equilibrium. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Good, and then legs straight up to the ceiling. We're gonna stretch the hamstrings out. So drop your tailbone down, flex your feet, and engage your quad muscles. Make space at your hip creases. You can put your hands there and push your hips away from you. So I'm only gonna bring my legs in a little bit more, as long as my length of my core stays the same and my lower back maintains lifting off the carriage. Good, okay, bend the knees. Let's come out of the straps, just hang them up, and let's take a seat for one upper body stretch. So we're gonna go kneeling, and I'm gonna take this just to a red. So if you've heard of like puppy's pose or child's pose, it's a little similar to that. So palms wide to the edge, fingers off. So the first option would be to do more like child's pose, where you drop your butt and you drop your chest down. And maybe that is plenty on your shoulders and on your chest muscles. The other one's going to take us into extension, which I don't believe we did this class. And I like to kind of hit all the things in the spine during Pilates. So feet against the shoulder blocks, knees underneath the hips. You're gonna drop your chest down and lift your butt up. So it's more of a back bend. Now see if you can keep your hands sealed, arms straight, and pivot your elbow to the floor. You can send the carriage out more with the knees as long as you're in control, and go deeper into the back bend. As your pelvis lifts, look forward with your gaze and move your chest forward and your arms into the sockets. Good. Big stretch through the chest and the abdominal wall here. Take a big breath in, and then exhale, lift the belly, tuck the pelvis, and guide the carriage all the way home. Woo, and then take a seat. You guys did a fabulous job. Thank you so much for joining me for class today. I just love Pilates, and I love making workouts that make us feel good, challenge us, get us a little bit stronger each and every time. So I'm working out on a balanced body reformer, the L.rose 2. I really love this guy, but there are so many options, and I will link a easier to transport, little lighter reformer in the comments below, so you can check that out. I'm also going to link my outfit. This is Craze Yoga, or CRZ Yoga. I've worn them for years, and my number one thing, or I guess it's two, and I say this every time, but I'm serious, it's quality and it's super affordable, and they last. I guess that's three. But I've literally worn them since the beginning of my YouTube channel, so it's been like 4 years now, and I've probably had this for like 4 years. Like, they really do great, and I think they're about $25, $30. That's pretty amazing when you're looking at comparable leggings that are like 200 bucks. So this is their spaghetti strap bra that's adjustable, which I love. And then these are their Butterluxe 25-inch leggings. They have them in, I guess, a longer size if you're taller, but I'm 5'3", so these fit me perfect. I also launched a membership, so if you want more content and more workouts with me, you know you do, then I have a link in the comments. You can join there. And my name is Lindsay. This is Pilates On Demand. I bet by now you're aware. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.